Hello, beautiful folks. Hope you're having an even more beautiful day. This video is being created thanks to none other than Larry Wheels. And the topic of today's talk is concupiscence. Concupiscence, meaning strong sexual desire or lust. I recently watched a video detailing how multi-millionaire creator Larry Wheels is basically broke or going broke due to failing to conquer the two forces that I'll be talking about in this video that I personally think no man or person can last in the position of power or success without first conquering. Now, folks, every human on this planet is fighting the same two battles. Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your money, doesn't matter your age. These two forces, believe it or not, they silently shape your decisions every single day, as we see with Mr. Larry Wheels. And that is the urge to feed and the urge to reproduce, aka to eat and to fuck, right? Food, pleasure, dopamine, instant gratification. Those are buzzwords right now, but trust me, they are very, very real and all too powerful. Now, most people never escape these forces. They live as servants to them until the very day they die. And today, I want to talk about what happens when you either master these urges or let them master you. Let's get into the primal programming because we did not choose these urges. They were hardwired into us before civilization, before money, before cities, thousands and thousands of years ago. Your ancestors, right? My ancestors only needed three things to survive. One is to stay alive, find food, and to reproduce, hence, go on generations and generations. Now, that wiring is fortunately, and in Larry's case, unfortunately, still active in our brain to this day. But there's a slight problem. Modern society has hijacked that wiring. Food is everywhere, pleasure is everywhere, and stimulation is infinite. And your brain was not designed for that. All brains were designed for scarcity. But we're living in a world of abundance, and most people simply never adapt. Let's get into the first force. It's pretty simple. It's feeding. Everyone needs to eat to survive, right? But the problem is, people aren't just eating when they're hungry anymore. It's about comfort. It's about the emotions, the escape, the addiction. People eat when they're bored, when they feel sad, when they're stressed, when they're celebrating. And over time, the discipline will die, right? Your body grows weak, your mind slows down, your energy just dissipates. Gluttony doesn't make you overweight, people. It makes you mentally slow, emotionally dependent, and physically fragile. And who wants to be any of those things? You become controlled by your next meal. Does that sound fun to you? Your next craving controls what you do. Your next comfort hit. Your next little dopamine crack. And when the body gets weak, we all know what follows suit. It's the mind. Now, this leads right into the second force, which is a thing that has Mr. Larry Wheels in a stronghold. It is constant sexual stimulation and gratification. Now, this man blew a multi-million-dollar fortune on a corn addiction. Your brain, our brains, his brain was never, ever meant to see endless artificial beauty, especially someone with the obsessive personality, right, who goes to the gym every day, who does something, who does almost everything consistently. Even the negative things get a consistent application, right? Endless beauty, endless novelty, endless fantasy, endless access. Today, right now, with one tap of a screen, your brain gets more stimulation in 1 minute than King Solomon saw in his entire life. Think about that. You're not a king. You've never went to battle, but you have the virtual harem of King Solomon. And then what happens when your dopamine system is just cooked? You lose your focus, you lose your drive, you have zero emotional control, and most pathetic of all, your self respect and purpose go right out the window. Yuck. Your mind is constantly occupied with fantasy. You can't even think clearly. A grown man hunched over 2 hours a day looking at pornography, masturbating. You can't even plan deeply. You can't even process emotions and suffer properly. You can't build anything real because your energy just leaks out through impulses instead of creation. This is where potential goes to die. Mr. Wheels is a multi world record holder, multi champion, falling victim to a glass box. And this is why these two forces destroy your clarity. Right? When you're constantly feeding that pleasure and it dominates your life, you do not live intentionally. You live reactively. You react to that craving. You gotta just itch it. You wake up thinking, ooh, what am I gonna eat, right? What am I gonna whack off to today? What am I gonna indulge in that's gonna destroy my life? But that destroy my life part, it doesn't hit you until after you've taken the action. Instead of what are you gonna build? What are you going to become? What discipline are you going to sink yourself into today? You do the opposite. A distracted mind cannot be a dangerous mind. A disciplined mind is rare. It is very, very rare. And rarity will always win in this world. That's what got Mr. Wheels to his position in the first place. Now, the truth as often is harsh. It is harsh. Majority of people do not lose because they're dumb. Right? They lose because they grow undisciplined or they were never disciplined to begin with. And most of us know damn well what we should be doing. You could do it for a day or two, but you just don't do it consistently. And worst of all, you do the bad things consistently, damn near religiously. You're going to trade long-term power for short-term pleasure every single day? Are you serious? Your comfort becomes a cage. You're a dog. And the scariest part is you don't even notice the bars until it's years later. Larry Wheels came to the internet and confessed to his addiction and its damage 3 years into spending 5 figures a month on campsites and corn girls. And you got to know that is scary stuff, right? Because what discipline really is, it's not a punishment. Discipline is just choosing your future over your current impulses. Every time you say no to that excess food, no to that constant stimulation, no to the instant gratification, you're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to your clarity, your strength, your momentum to keep going. You're literally crafting your mastery. You're telling your nervous system, chill, I'm in control. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm running the show. And control over oneself is the highest power any human being can hold, as we can see. Mr. Wheels has influence over millions across his platforms. But he didn't have control over the one person that truly mattered, himself. And we can see where that brought him, to the brink of ruin. Now, we're going to talk about living the unencumbered life. And this is what I pray Mr. Wheels comes out of his situation, and really does better and lives this unencumbered life. Because when you master these two forces, right, the urge to feed and the urge to reproduce, but in this case, artificially stimulate that dopamine hit, something strange to most folks begin to happen. You think clearly, like you can wake up sharp and read a full page of a Harry Potter book, no problem. You start to crave progress instead of the escape. You start to choose discomfort on purpose. You stop being ruled by that appetite, those impulses, that external stimulation, that filth. You become intentionally driven, internally driven. The unencumbered life, I can tell you from experience as I live it, Your mind is light. Your body is strong and robust. Your urges are just mere whispers. These things have no tug on you. Your direction is so clear. When you rise in the morning, you can smell the vision. You can hear the vision. And I'll leave you guys with this. This is the daily battle. And you're not going to bypass it. You have to fight this within your life. And once it's conquered, you must choose victory every single day. And this is not against other people. Right? This is what makes it so difficult. Because it's the battle against the parts of yourself that want comfort over growth. You don't conquer these forces just once. Like I said, it's a daily thing. But just like anything you do every single day, it becomes easier. And the people who win this quiet war get to live louder than everybody else. And this is not a story about money. It's a story about self-control. Because nobody took his millions from him. Nobody went into Larry's pockets. He gave them away. And the scary part, the same two forces that destroyed Larry Wheels are working on you right now. But like always, if you found value within this message, like, comment, and share by word of mouth. And I'll see you in the next one. We're building this thing one hammer swing at a time.
There is no waiting in creation, there is only being. To wait implies that your desire is distant, that it exists somewhere outside of you, that time must pass before you can have it. But what if time were an illusion?